well, I'm a Christian brother, and I can't help but be an official church presence, because that's the way people look at you. And I am the sole survivor of the community of brothers that started here in 1989, at the beginning of that. And now I'm here on my own. I've tried to get the authorities to give me someone that can join me here, but they reckon they can't find anyone able, willing and suitable. And maybe those three things knocks just about everyone out.
Sure.
So anyway, I'm here on my own, but I've got one of the leadership team coming to see me very shortly, and I can't see why they can't get some Australian brothers to come over for 3 months. Sure. Or just to, keep me company for a while.
Sure.
They don't have to do anything except just be a presence, in the community, and to be a support to me.
Mm.
The reason why we came to Murupara was to walk with the Maori people in solidarity with them. It wasn't primarily because there was no resident priest. The focus was on a mission to Maori.
Mm.
That's the reason we came here.
Yes.
Because it's poor, unemployment's very high, benefits are, fairly normal, and unemployment and all the troubles that come with that, especially with the young people. And our aim was to concentrate on young people and do it mainly through outdoor education. Now, I'm not doing much outdoor education now because I'm 82.
Sure.
I'm getting too old to be taking groups out, but I have in the past. I taught adventure tourism for 10 years at the Murupara Community Learning Centre, which I thoroughly enjoyed. After a lifetime of teaching senior physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology and all that, I came to Murupara in the beginning of end of 1991, beginning of 92, and found myself teaching adventure tourism, and I absolutely loved it.
Sure. So, can we go back to the start? When did you, or how did you get involved with the Christian Brothers?
Oh, well, I went to school at St. Peter's College in Auckland and Epsom, or Mountain Road, if you know Auckland.
Yes.
And I started there in the normal way, and it was Form 1, 2, 3, 4 in those days. I only did 4 years there, and at the end of my fourth form, which is now year, what's fourth form? That'd be year 10,
Yeah.
I think. I've got to think and work it out.
Yeah.
And I decided at the end, halfway through that year, I would be a Christian brother, and I left, as I say, on my 15th birthday. And part of it was a great adventure, because I went to Sydney on one of the big 4-engine flying boats,
Yes.
which only goes up a couple of 1,000 feet and travels 150 miles an hour, and took 7.25 hours to go from Mechanics Bay in Auckland to Rose Bay in Sydney.
Yeah.
and went in that day, 27th of January, 1948. So I did my training and the end of my secondary school and my novitiate training, my teacher training, and as I mentioned to you before, I managed to get an open scholarship to the University of Sydney. And I got 4 years full-time out of that to do an honours degree in pure and applied maths. At the end of the ninth year, I was sent up to Gosford to take the first leaving certificate of a new college, which I did. In September that year, my father died, and at the Christmas time I was then given compassionate leave to go and be with my mother, and so I spent January in Auckland, Middleton Road, famous Middleton Road, just near Newmarket, by the fish land Remuera. And that's St Michael's Parish in Remuera, where the McCarthys came from, the Browns, the Lewisons, the Shepherds, the Donnellys, the Juries. Well, they're all famous names.
Sure.
In terms of vocations to the priesthood and religious life.
And from there?
From there, yes, during my holiday I got a ring from the Union Steamship Company, because I'd come across by boat from Sydney. I got a ring from the Union Steamship Company to say they would, they had instructions to get the other half of my ticket and give it to Brother Vaynard Watson, who was the principal at St Peter's at the time. And then I knew I was going to be left in New Zealand.
Okay.
So I went up to St Peter's and I gave him the other half of my ticket to go back to Sydney. And so I went to St Kevin's in Oamaru for 10 years, boarding school, 320 boarders. And I think back on, it was blood, sweat and tears, really.
Why?
The staff were just stretched to the limit, and it's 24/7. It's all go, go, go. 10 years there, and what happened? I went sent to Auckland, back to St Peter's, my old school, and I taught there for 8 years, from 67 through to 74. 8 years. Then I went to Dunedin for 7. I was appointed the principal at St Thomas of Canterbury College in Christchurch. I did 6 years there, and then I went I was made the principal of St Paul's High School in Dunedin. And in 1989 launched Kavanagh College.
In Dunedin?
Yes. So that was 4 years. That would be 80, 88. 89 was the first year for Kavanagh, 89, 90, 91. And then I was sent to Murupara